sex trafficking cases in the United States. Richard Estes and Neil Weiner found that 55% of homeless girls living on the street end up engaging in formal prostitution, and 75% end up being employed by a pimp or trafficker. After I found out about the increasing sex trafficking in the United States, I did some more research, and it is so sad how high it is, and it is all important that we know about what is going on and how we can begin to stop it, and how also to protect ourselves if the need should ever arise. Sex trafficking in the United States is continuously growing. It's not at a constant, it keeps getting higher and higher and higher. Brian Willis and Barry Levi defined child prostitution in their article, Child Prostitution is a Global Health Problem, as a child being forced or enticed to perform a sexual act by means of compensation, financial or otherwise. The fact that this is occurring is awful, and it's very hard to talk about because you can't imagine it, but it's something we all need to know about and we need to talk about. Now, when we're thinking of child prostitution, we tend to think of females between the ages of 13 and 18. The fact is that it occurs between girls and boys as young as 10 years old. These children are stuck in different environments such as brothels, hotels, and bars. And the problem is that because this is so illegal, they are never there for long and they are quickly moved, which makes it difficult for the police to track down and rescue these children. Now, most children involved in sex trafficking are abandoned, homeless, and runaways. In 2016, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children found that 1 in 6 children involved in sex trafficking were once runaways. Also, girls are often now kidnapped and sold into sex trafficking. Now, what can we do to start putting an end to sex trafficking? Well, the first thing you can do is anything. This is a battle we can all help fight. But you can also get in touch with your local, federal, and state government and see what things they have in place to help put an end to it. Also, be well informed of situations that are happening around you. Sex trafficking and abductions happen everywhere, so be well informed of how high of a percentage that is in your area. Also, be sure to learn the indicators of someone who might be stuck in a situation that could be a life or death point for that person. And if for some reason you ever do encounter something as sex trafficking, report it immediately. As I said, they're not going to be there long. They're quickly moved around. You can also volunteer at groups that help with rehab and therapy for sex victims. Now, what can we do to protect ourselves against such threats as being sold into sex trafficking, or even just something as simple as a mugging? Not that that's simple, but now for fellow women and young adults, this is still a big deal for us. This doesn't just happen in children. It is very, very important to learn how to be aware and how to protect yourself if the need should ever arise. Black Scout survival video called Women's Self-Defense Weapon says that the most important weapon that we can have is our awareness. But he also tells us that we need to get distance between an attacker if the need should ever arise. He tells us a few ways that we can do that. One being which, pepper spray. I actually have one of these myself. And he also names a few, such as keychains you can slip on your fingers with points, and even your keys that you carry. You can slip them in between your knuckles and use them as a spike, or if you have them on a lanyard, you can swing and slap them with it. But he said that the most important thing you can do is get distance. It's also very important to learn physical means if you don't have a weapon to fight off an attacker. I've always wanted to take a self-defense class, but I've never had the chance to. But I highly recommend to anybody that can do so immediately. But the biggest thing you need to focus on when trying to protect yourself is to be aware. Never, ever, ever be on your phone when you are walking alone to your car or out in public, especially at night. An attacker will target a person who is distracted before they will target someone who's actively looking around and paying attention to their surroundings. Now that we have learned about all of this, I hope that it has made an impact. It's so important to know about what is going on. Because it's such a hard topic to talk about, people they try not to think about sex trafficking and child sex trafficking, but it's a big deal and we need to know about it and also, we need to know how to protect ourselves if the need should ever arise. If that doesn't affect you enough, think about it this way. If it was you, or your daughter, or your mother, or your cousin, would you want someone to be helping put an end to it? Or would you want people sitting behind and ignoring the problem? That's what I thought. Now, if for some reason you should ever encounter a situation where you think sex trafficking is involved, be sure to call the police immediately. All it takes is 911.